It's that time again. Time for another episode of Shelve It or Shove It, that completely superficial way to pick books for your TBR based solely on their covers. I am your hostess with the mostest, Daisy X Machina, the drag queen detective who investigates all things speculative in science fiction, fantasy, and horror. If you haven't seen me play this game before, I go on to Goodreads and I get the new releases in science fiction, fantasy, and horror, and I pick one book based only on the cover. I know it's kind of a crazy way to pick books for your TBR, but it is so much fun, and as they say, you can't judge a book by its cover, which will certainly proven here. So let's go ahead and get started in the category of science fiction. And first up is Death Between Stars by Nico Vincenti. I have not heard of this author. The cover is interesting. I'm kind of getting sort of the Star Destroyer, this gray steel window, but surrounding it is what looks to be flowers? Death Between Stars. Have you ever seen the movie Silent Running? I'm kind of getting that. There's maybe a spaceship carrying flora or fauna. Death Between Stars. I kind of need to know a little bit more by the cover, and the artwork is just okay. It's not bad, it's just okay. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to shove it. Next up is Warp, Rinse, Repeat by Julia Hooney. Book 6, Tales of a Former Space Janitor. Okay, this looks like a humorous, sort of satirical, maybe science fiction. However, this is book 6, so I'm not going to be picking this book up. The cover is pretty. It's a little bit generic, but I like sort of this movement of a space station, this sort of blue pool. And it's not a very funny cover, which is at odds with the title, Warp, Rinse, Repeat. And I haven't heard of Julia Hooney, so yeah, I'm going to have to shove it. Next up is All That Means and Mourns by Ruth Ann Emery. I recognize this author. One of my favorite inspired Lovecraft stories, Winter's Tide, was written by this author. And there's a sequel, Deep Roots, where she took the Lovecraftian mythos of the old ones and gave it a huge twist. Great book. Check it out. Anyway, the cover looks kind of ugly. All That Means and Mourns. Although the more I look at it, the more interesting it is, because there's this sort of this weird green seaweed, it looks like, but there's like birds in it. Oh man, I like this author so much, but this cover, I don't know. It looks like there's a figure of a man or a woman or a person sort of swimming up in the middle of the seaweed. Do I like this? I don't think I like this. Yeah, this cover isn't doing it for me, even though I love this author. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to shove it. Next up is Red Shirts. Star Trek, looks like a comic book, or is this a graphic novel? It says number 5, so I'm going to say it's a comic book. Cantwell, Levins, and Troutman are the authors and illustrators, I assume. Oh man, I really like this picture for the cover. This old original series woman. There's a skeleton holding a phaser. There's skulls around it. Red Shirts, of course, refers to the meme that anyone who wears a red shirt on the especially original series is dead. That's kind of funny. Oh, I wonder if this is a graphic novel comic of Scalzi's red shirts. I bet that's what this is. I don't think I can pick a comic book. I love this cover though. I love this cover. But it's number 5. Yeah, I'm not going to pick up number 5 in a series. That means I would have to get all the rest. Maybe I'll wait for it to come out in a graphic novel. I don't know. But for now, I'm going to have to shove it. And finally, in science fiction, 1001 Upgrades by Alison Tebow. Of course, this must be a play on 1001 Nights about Scheherazade, who has to tell a story it's a frame story, and she has to tell a story every night to stay alive. And I'm wondering, because there's this little robot, if this robot has to come up with stories. It makes me wonder if this is an anthology with a frame story like the 1001 Nights. I like the sort of clever title, 1001 Upgrades. And it is sort of this Middle Eastern theme. And the illustration's a little cartoony, but I kind of like the story it's telling. I'm kind of very, very curious about this one. This is one, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and shelve it. Now we move on to fantasy, and first up, you know this name, Jim Butcher, 12 Months, a novel of the Dresden Files. Now, I'm sure this is great news for big fans of the Dresden Files. I've read a couple of them. I haven't kept up with it, so I don't think I'm going to be picking this book, but I do like this cover. I like the illustration of the mage, Dresden, with the hat and the staff and the magic circle behind him. I do like this illustration, but like I said, I haven't kept up with the Dresden Files, so I'm going to have to shove it. Next up is The Elsewhere Express by Samantha Sato Yambaugh, nationally best-selling author of Watermoon. I think I remember Watermoon coming through Shelve It or Shove It. I do like this picture of this train with this, I believe, girl sort of hanging off it, and it looks like there's 2 dimensions. So maybe a train traveling through worlds, that's my guess. So, kind of like that. And I like the illustration. It's very engaging. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and shelve it. Next up is The Poet Empress by Shen Dao. And I like this illustration. I like this, obviously very Asian theme of this ribbon with these kanji or Asian characters on it. This woman in a little jade robe floating over a pagoda, this fire, the flowers around it. It's all very engaging. So yeah, I like this cover quite a lot. So guess what? I'm going to shelve it. Next up is To Ride a Rising Storm by Monocle Black Goose, the second book of, oh goodness, Nampeshi Wiset. And it's a pretty cover that looks almost like jewelry or something. There's 2 dragons circling each other. To Ride a Rising Storm, Monocle Black Goose. Well, I'm glad they told me it's a second book, because I don't want to pick up the second book of a series right now. The covers, I think it's just okay. It's pretty, but I don't think I would pick this book up by the cover anyway. Even if I didn't know this is the second book in the series, I don't think I would pick a book up by this cover. Because it's also kind of generic, isn't it? Other than the unique sort of, it looks like jewelry or cutouts, it's kind of generic. Just two dragons circling each other and some flowers. Yeah, I'm going to have to shove it. And finally, in fantasy, The Wolf King by The Wolf and His King by Finn Longman. And there is a crown with a wolf sculpture on it. So a kingdom of wolf people, werewolves, I don't know. I do like the artistry of this, but I'm not really drawn to a story about werewolves or wolf kings. At least not without knowing more about it. Like the artwork, not sure I like the premise, so I'm going to have to shove it. And finally, we move on to horror. First up is My Name Isn't Paul, a cosmic horror novella. Okay, so cosmic horror is another name for Lovecraftian horror without using the name Lovecraft, which can carry some baggage, an imagination as transgressive as Clive Barker's book list. Well, I do like Clive Barker. He's actually my favorite horror author. And the cover, it looks like these rivulets of silver metal that's maybe alive in a person's hand. Yeah, I don't think I'm into this cover. I'm like zooming in. I'm not all that enthralled by the artwork. And it's not really telling me a story. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to shove it. Next up is Shiny Happy People by Clay McLeod Chapman. And since this is in horror, the title is quite ironic, Shiny Happy People, because I'm sure they're not. And I don't know, this is sort of a confusing cover. I'm not sure how this works with the title, but there's a lot of leaves and foliage and flowers, and you see the eyes of two people peeking through it. So I don't know what's going on here. I don't know how this relates to the title. I wish there was the tagline or something a little bit more. So I'm gonna have to shove it. Next we have Thomas Olduvelt. Hit Oh My Gosh by Jamie Gunn. I'm saying oh my gosh because this doesn't look like it's in English. Vonda Otter von X, the author of Hex. Okay, so just looking at the cover is, I feel like I've seen this creature before, sort of like a Guillermo del Toro type creature with the mouth ripped open. I'm really getting thrown by this being in a different language, so I think I'm going to have to shove it. Next we have Monstrous, Volume 10, Hollow Gods. Okay, I'm not going to be picking up a Volume 10 of what looks to be a comic by Marjorie Liu and Sana Takeda. That said, the cover, I think it's a little bit busy for a comic cover. There's this guy in the background in red, sort of holding his face, and there's this weird dragon holding a person. I'm not that into this cover. It wasn't like the Star Trek cover, which really drew me in. So, and I'm not picking up at Volume 10, so I'm going to have to shove it. And finally, in horror, The Long Low Whistle by Laurel Hightower. I like this retro, it looks like a retro D&D role-playing game cover, but it says horror. There's this little sticker that says horror. I love this retro cover. Okay, at the top it says Killer VHS series, so I don't know if I want to get into a series because I doubt this is going to be book 1. But there is this woman with a flashlight looking at a cave. This is giving me role-playing game vibes. SW, that's where like the TSR symbol used to be, or logo used to be. There's so much about this I like. So you know what? If it's a series, I'll just go ahead and pick up book 1. But I like this cover enough. I think I'm going to have to shelve it. Okay, it looks like I'll shelved 4 books. 1 science fiction, 1001 Upgrades by Ellison Thibault. I shelved 2 fantasy, The Elsewhere Express by Samantha Sato Yambao, and The Poet Empress by Shen Dao. And I shelved 1 horror, The Long, Low Whistle by Laurel Hightower. Okay, so very interesting choices here. I'm really intrigued by 1001 Upgrades. I really want to kind of know what that's about. But it doesn't have as snappy of a cover as the other 3. I'm fairly sure The Long Low Whistle is a series. I wonder if it's an anthology series. Because if it is an anthology, I would pick up this one and not go to the first one. Or a lot of questions there. And the 2 fantasies, you know, one of these fantasies is just popping out at me. I mean, I can't stop looking at it because the colors are so fun and pastel. Yes, I'm talking about The Elsewhere Express by Samantha Sato Yambao. I really have no idea what this book could be about. The cover looks very joyous, and I'm assuming it's this sort of magical train that goes through dimensions or other worlds, and this lone figure sort of joyously hanging off it, riding it. So let's go ahead and read the blurb and see what it's really about. When you lose your way in life, the Elsewhere Express just might find you. Step aboard the train that can take you to your life's purpose in this cozy, inspiring fantasy from the nationally best-selling author of Water Moon. This whimsical deluxe first edition hardcover includes design sprayed edges, a full color illustrated bookcase, and character art, and interactive end papers with a scene you can color in while supplies last. You can't buy a ticket for the Elsewhere Express, appearing only to those whose lives are adrift. It's a magical train carrying very rare and special cargo, a sense of purpose, peace, and belonging. Rhea is one of those lost souls. She had dreamed of being a songwriter, but when her brother died, she gave up on her dream and started living his instead. One day on the subway, as her thoughts wander, she's swept off to the Elsewhere Express. There she meets Q, a charming, handsome artist who, like her, has lost his place in the world. Together they find a train full of wonders, from a boarding car that's also a meadow to a dining car where passengers can picnic on lily pads to a bar where jellyfish and whales swim through pink clouds. But they also discover that the train harbors secrets and danger a mysterious stranger has stowed away and brought with them a dark, malignant magic that threatens to destroy the train. But in investigating the stowaway's identity, Rhea also finds herself drawing closer to the ultimate question. What is her life's true purpose, and might Q be connected to it? Okay, well, I am not going to get the hardcover deluxe first edition. I'm hoping that we can get this as an ebook form. And I am curious about a cozy fantasy, because the only cozy fantasy I believe I've read is Travis Baldree. And of course, I've read the Monk and Robot books by Becky Chambers, but that's cozy science fiction. This is cozy fantasy. And It sounds very whimsical and very charming. A magic train picking up lost souls to give them purpose, but there is a dark presence on the train. So I'm very curious about this one. I hope it's cozy. I hope it's heartwarming. Oh, House on a Cerulean Sea. That's another, I don't know if you'd call it cozy fantasy, but that's kind of the vibe I'm picking up with this one. Oh, I hope I like it. But I want to know about you. What book or books would you have picked based solely on their covers? Let me know down in the comments. And while you're there, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Until we meet again, may all the books you read be blessed.